Good morning, all students. In last session, we learned different types of operating systems. Before starting, next point, we will take a review of previous session. In previous session, we learned the basic types of operating system. There are two basic types of operating system, that is single user operating system and multi-user operating system. In single user operating system, only one user can take the advantages of the various features embedded in it. Example, MS-DOS and Windows. In multi-user operating system, multiple users can take the various advantages of the features embedded in it. Examples, Windows XP, Windows 8, Linux family. Next, the various types of operating system enlisted here: batch operating system, multi-programming operating system, time-sharing operating system, multiprocessor operating system, distributed operating system, and a real-time operating system. In batch operating system, different users submit the jobs which have similar requirement are grouped together to form a batch and which will submitted to system for the further processing. The system will perform all the operation in sequence, so it is called as serial processing type. Next, multiprogramming operating system. In multiprogramming operating system is the ability to execute multiple programs at the same time on single processor machine. The system will perform all the operations in parallel sequence, so it is called as parallel processing type. The main aim of multiprogramming is to make CPU busy all the time. Here, memory layout of multiprogramming system. The total memory is divided into two parts, that is user area and system area. In user area, all the users are submitted their jobs. Here, the multiple jobs are being executed at the same time. Next, multitasking operating system. Multitasking is to execute multiple tasks simultaneously. Task is the unit of program, like edit, copy, paste, delete, like. Multitasking is the logical extension of multiprogramming. Here, the example of multitasking. At the same time, we can use Word, our Gmail account, and other web browsers on a operating system. Next, time-sharing operating system. In time-sharing operating system, there is a large computer system which connected multiple terminals. Each terminal perform their task is in given time slice. It is also logical extension of multiprogramming. Next, multiprocessor operating system. In multiprocessor operating system, more than one processor are connected through the system bus to share memory, clock, and peripheral devices. The main advantage of multiprocessor system to get maximum work in shorter period. There are two types of multiprocessor operating system, that is asymmetric and symmetric multiprocessor. In symmetric multiprocessor, It is master-slave relationship where one processor act as a master and other are slave. Master processor gives the instruction to all the other processor. In symmetric multiprocessor, all the processors are equal and they communicate with each other. Next, a real-time operating system. Real-time operating system is time-based operating system in that response should be guaranteed within a specified time. If response is generated after deadline, it should be correct. That is not real time. There are two types of real-time operating system, that is hard real-time system and soft real-time system. Next, distributed operating system. In distributed operating system, different computers are interconnected with each other using shared communication network. Every computer works as individual with their own main memory and CPU. It is a remote access. In previous session, I missed one point, that is types of distributed system. There are two types of distributed operating system, that is horizontal distribution and vertical distribution. In horizontal distribution, all the computer systems are at the same level. They are equally capable of handling any function. For example, airline reservation. In airline reservation, hundreds of computers in the network are able to book or cancel any reservation. Next, vertical distribution. In vertical distribution, that are various levels of functionality. These levels normally reflect the level of in an organization. Example, any organizational company. In that, there is a main division having different zones and different zones having different branches. All the computers work in branches which is connected to zones, and all the computers are worked in the zone which are connected to division. It is horizontal and vertical distribution operating system. Now we will start new point, that is mobile operating system. We all know the mobile phones. So how to work the mobile phones? For that, use operating system. A mobile operating system, also called as a mobile OS, is an operating system that is specially designed to run on mobile devices such as mobile phones, smartphones, tablet computers and other handheld devices. In short, the mobile operating system is an operating system which control mobile devices is called as mobile operating system. They are simple and deal with wireless version of broadband and local connectivity. The mobile operating system is the software platform on which other programs called as application program can run on mobile devices. A mobile operating system typically starts when a device power on, presenting a screen with icons or tiles that present information and provide application access. Mobile operating system also manage cellular and wireless network connectivity as well as phone access. Now we will see some features of mobile operating system. First, the ability to connect the internet. In that, mobile operating system deliver various features to user, and the distinguishing features that mobile operating system offers the ability to connect the internet via the smartphones, built-in modems, and a wireless service provider such as Verzones. This is a major difference between mobile operating system and most desktop operating system, which rely on a Wi-Fi network or Ethernet connection to access the Ethernet. Next, many mobile operating systems offers a native web browser application. The web browser application which allows user to search the internet and visit different web pages. Second, application stores. The mobile operating system also offers application stores which allows user to download and interface with mobile application. Several mobile operating systems also have native GPS, that is Global Positioning System. That application allows user to search for location, follow step-by-step directions, and in some cases share location with different devices. The GPS features relies on mobile device hardware and can't run without that support. The other common features include some native email applications that allow users to link their work and personal email account. A calendar application that users can keep track of tasks, meetings, and events. And contact library to organize and search for contact information. That is the contact library. Again, the mobile operating system has feature to send and receive message and MMS facility. It has call making and receiving facility. It has call recording, video and audio recording facilities. These are some features of mobile operating system. Now we will learn the different types of operating system. In market, there are different mobile device operating systems are available. In that, two of the most widely adopted are iPhone OS and Apple OS, and Google's open source operating system and Google Android. There are other mobile operating systems available, but their adoption rates are well below those of iOS and Android. These other operating systems include KaiOS, Selfish OS, Windows OS, BlackBerry OS, and Huawei Harmony operating system. Before starting the Android and iOS operating system, we will learn some other mobile operating system. The Apple distributes the only device that natively supports iOS, in which Apple regulates all mobile apps and services that can run on the iOS device. Apple developed iOS to run on its own XNU kernel. Apple has also released several device-specific mobile operating systems such as Watch operating system for the Apple Watch and iPad operating system for the iPad tablets. Next operating system that is very popular, that is Android. Google takes a different approach with Android, which is open source. This means that mobile device OEM, that is original equipment manufacturers, can customize the Android source code and customize it to fit their devices. Android run on the Linux kernel. As we all know, there are other mobile operating systems available, but their adoption rates are well below those of iOS and Android. This operating system includes KaiOS. KaiOS based the mobile devices having very limited computing power, but the latest version of KaiOS can bring more features set to these devices such as App Store and the Google Assistant. Selfish operating system is based on multiple open source projects and run mostly on smartphones and tablet computers from Zola, which developed the operating system and Sony mobile devices. Selfish operating system and Kai operating system both run on Linux kernel. Huawei Harmony operating system, initially released in August 2019, can also run on IoT devices. This operating system typically run Android operating system, but Harmony operating system may replace Android on these devices in the future. The Harmony operating system run on microkernel structure. Next, Windows operating system. Windows is no stranger to computer operating system, but it is a relatively newcomer to mobile operating system. Its latest version uses the tiled layout common to its most recent computer operating system. These tiles can be rearranged and moved to the user preferences. Next, BlackBerry operating system. A few users known, but still it is used in market. Operating system is one designed for BlackBerry devices, common among business users. The BlackBerry operating system is well liked for its enhanced security and safety measures. It was the phone of choice for former President. BlackBerry has been more successful with an operating system that requires trackball, like a computer mouse, and a physical keyboard than a touchscreen device like iPhone. Now we will see the most popular mobile operating system, that is Android. The Google takes a different approach with Android, which is open source. This means that mobile device is original equipment manufacturer can customize the Android resource code anywhere and customize it to fit their devices. Android run on the Linux kernel. The first phone launched HTC G1 in 2008. Currently an operating system of choice for Motorola, HTC, Samsung, Sony, among others. The Android is software updates every few months. Now we will see the architecture of Android operating system. The Android operating system is a stack of software components which is roughly divided into 5 sections and 4 main layers as shown in the given diagram. There are different 4 layers, that is Linux kernel, libraries, application framework and applications, and there are 5 sections that are Linux kernel section, library section. In library section there are 2 sections, the main library and it's a core library for Android, and application framework section and application section. Now we will see the each function of each layer of function. The first, Linux kernel. At the bottom of the layer is Linux kernel. This provides a level of abstraction between the device hardware and it contains all the essential hardware drivers like camera, keypad, and display. Also, the kernel handles all the things that Linux is really good, such as networking and a vast array of device drivers. Next, libraries. On top of the Linux kernel, there is a set of libraries including open source, web browsers, engine for the WebKit, libc, it is a common C library, it's a C standard library. SQLite, it is used for the database which is useful for storage and sharing of application data. Libraries to play and record audio and video. SSL, that is secure socket layer, it is responsible for internet security. Then surface manager, it is responsible for composing different drawing surfaces on the screen. OpenGL, it is used for 3D image engine. HGL, it is used for 2D image engine. Media framework, it is a core part of Android multimedia. Here we can play MPEG-4, MP3 like. Next library, that is free type, it is to tender the font which on screen display. WebKit, it is used for the open source browser engine, helps to work well on small screen. These are some libraries which is used in basic library. After that, Android Runtime. This is third section of the architecture and available on second layer from the bottom. This section provides a key component called as Dalvik virtual machine, which is a kind of Java virtual machine specially designed and optimized for Android. The Dalvik virtual machine makes use of Linux core features like memory management and multithreading, which is intrinsic in the Java language. The Dalvik virtual machine enables every Android application to run its own processes with its own object of the Dalvik virtual machine. The Android Runtime also provides a set of core libraries which enables Android application developer to write Android application using standard Java programming language. This category is used to Java based libraries that are specific to develop Android application. Examples of library in this category include the application framework library. In addition to those facility user interface, buildings, graphics, drawing and database access. Few libraries are mentioned here that are Android.app. This library provides access to the application model and it's all Android application. Next, Android.content. This library facilitates content access, publishing and messaging between application and application components. Next, Android.database. It is used to access data published by content provider and include SQLite database management classes. Next, Android.os. This library provides application with access to standard operating system services like resource management, memory management, user interface. Android.text. This library provides to tender and manipulate text on a device display. And Android.view. It is the fundamental building blocks of application user interface. These are some Android libraries which is built in Android Studio. Next session, that is application framework. Application framework layer provide many higher level services to application in the form of Java classes. Application developers are allowed to make use of these services in their applications. The Android framework includes some key services like Activity Manager, Content Provider, Notification Manager, Resource Manager. Activity Manager, it controls all aspects of application lifecycle and activity stack. The Content Provider, it allows application to publish and share data with other application. Resource Manager, it provides access to non-code embedded resources such as string, color setting, and user interface layout. Notification Manager, it allows application to display alert and notification to the user. And View System, it is an extensible set of views used to create application user interfaces. These are some frameworks which is inbuilt in Android framework. The last session, that is the application section. We find out all the Android application at the top layer. We will write your application to be installed on this layer only. The example of applications are contact books, browser, game, clock, calendar, email, calculators. It is one of the example of latest Android version, that is Android Lollipop. The feature of this latest Android version, ability to join Wi-Fi network and control paired Bluetooth devices from quick settings. Official support for multiple SIM cards. It provides device protection. If a device is lost, or it will remain locked until the owner signs into their Google account, even if the device is reset to factory setting. It is a very important and very secure features which is provided in latest Android version. High definition voice call, improvement to the notification priority system. There are some advantages and disadvantages of Android operating system. The advantages of Android: excellent software and application support, thousands of apps to be downloaded online, frequent operating updates for improving performance. Android phones can also function as a router to share internet and multitasking. There are some disadvantages of Android operating system. No standard of application quality, generally power hungry, difficult to modify, and virus applications. Now we will see the next mobile operating system, that is iOS mobile operating system. The iOS operating system created by Apple Incorporation for mobile devices. The iOS is used in many of the mobile devices for Apple, such as iPhone, iPod, iPad. The iOS is used a lot and only lags behind Android in terms of popularity. Nowadays, iOS is developed for Apple Watch, which is based on Apple Watch operating system. It was originally released in 2007 for the iPhone, iPod Touch, and Apple TV. And nowadays, Apple Watch is popular. iOS is Apple's mobile version of OS operating system used in Apple computers. iOS is derived from OS X, which shares the Darwin's foundation. There are some tools of iOS, that is Xcode, which is integrated development environment, which provide multiple iOS app templates, that is interface builder and iPhone simulator. Interface builder, which provide drop and drag creation use of interfaces, and iPhone simulator, it provides ability to test your software on iPhone and iPad. The iOS architecture is layered architecture. It contains an intermediate layer between the application and the hardware, so they do not communicate directly. The lower layer in iOS provide the basic services, and the higher layer provide the user interface and sophisticated graphics. Now we will see the detailed architecture of iOS, which is in layered form. There are 4 layers. The bottom layer, that is a core OS, after that core services, media services and Cocoa Touch. Now we will see one by one all the layers of iOS architecture. The first, core OS. All the iOS technologies are built on the low-level features provided by core OS layer. These technologies include core Bluetooth framework, external accessory framework, accelerate framework, security service framework, local authorization framework like. Next, core services. There are many frameworks services available in the core service layer. It is a fundamental interface for iOS for accessing files and networks. These interfaces are mostly in C based. Now we will see some framework services, that is CloudKit framework. It provides data can be moved between the app and the iCloud using the CloudKit framework. Second service, Core Foundation framework. This provides the data management and service feature for the iOS apps. Next, Core Data framework. The data model view controller apps is handled using the Core Data framework. Address Book framework. The Address Book framework provides access to the contact database of the user. Core Motion framework. All the motions based data on the device is accessed using Core Motion framework. HealthKit framework. The health related information of the user can be handled by this new framework. And Core Location framework. This framework provides the location and heading information the various apps. Next layer, that is media. The media layer enable all the graphics, audio and video technology of the system. The different frameworks of the media layers are UIKit graphics. This provides supports for designing image and animating the view content. Next, Core Graphics framework. This provides support for 2D vector and image based rendering, the native drawing engine for iOS app. Next, Core Animation. The Core Animation technology optimizes the animation experience of the app. Media Player framework. This framework provides support for playing playlist and enable the user to use their iTunes library. AV Kit. This provides various easy to use interfaces for video presentation. These all frameworks are based on C and Objective-C. Next, that is last layer, this Cocoa Touch. The Cocoa Touch layer provides some frameworks include Event Kit framework. This shows the standard system interface using view controller for viewing and changing calendar related events. Game Kit framework. This provides supports for users to share their game related data online using Game Center. And last, Map Kit framework. This provides a scrollable map which can be included into the app user interface. These are some frameworks which in Cocoa Touch layer. Now we will see the advantages and disadvantages of iOS operating system. The advantages are excellent user interface and fluid responsive. Developers can design app because less number of models as compared to Android. Next, metal and shiny coating are ultimate for Apple devices. Next advantage is jailbreaking for customization, means escape any customization design. Generate less heat when as compared to Android. Excellent for media entertainment and suit for business and gaming zone. There are some disadvantages of iOS operating system. It has a review process, means when developer wants to publish an app, they need to send it to Apple for review. That take around 7 days and it take even more in some cases. Some apps are user in iOS, it takes some cost, so it is costly app. Applications are very large when other mobile platform. Battery performance is very poor on 3G. Repair costs are very high because the Apple Care Center is not available as any zone level. And last, not flexible, only supports iOS devices. Thank you.